and welcome to a special edition of WCMO-TV. I'm Lucy Wells. If you're local, you probably already know that the Washington County Public Library has a long and storied history in the Mid-Ohio Valley, with the Marietta branch of the library standing on the Capitolium Temple Mound since 1918. Almost a century later, they're still growing and changing. Here with us today are Library Board Member Ann Stewart and Library Director Justin Mayo to offer an insider's perspective on the brand new branch opening up on the Lafayette Square Plaza in Marietta in early May. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you both.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question for you today is, how did the idea for this new Lafayette branch come into being?
The Board of Trustees had strategized over a period of time that we would like to have expanded services, gotten a new branch that was handicapped accessible with good parking, and be able to offer the services that people really want. So we were able to make the decision to go to Lafayette Center. And one of the deciding factors was a very generous benefactor who left money for the public library system in his will. And so we were able to use that very generous donation and begin the process at Lafayette Center.
And that's a wonderful thing that anonymous donor did. That was actually going to be my next question about how the construction was paid for. I know the library did receive a levy a couple years ago that went towards upkeep at the existing branches. Is that correct?
Yes.
More for operations, but the library board has always been very well budgeting for this, and they've always had the foresight to know that someday we would have to become more accessible as the community got older, and this branch definitely fulfills that need.
It's been a long time in the making. It's very exciting. So everyone's very excited to see this new branch. Can you let us know what someone might expect when they come to visit the new branch for the first time?
It's very handicap accessible. There's plenty of parking. There's a drive-through where people can just pull up, hand the card into the window, pick up their holds. There's a browsing collection where people can come get the best sellers. There's going to be a copy machine. We'll have 6 public computers available for people. There'll be a collection of magazines, and there'll be a fax machine if people need the fax machine. So there'll be most of the resources that we provide now will also be at that location.
That's awesome. Libraries nowadays function, and it's so much more than just a place for books. They're expansive media centers as well. So it sounds great. Sort of going along with that, you mentioned accessibility before. How specifically is it more accessible than, say, the Marietta branch of the library currently?
Well,
There are no steps, one floor, drive-through, parking right there, so not a whole lot of walking to get inside.
no walking at all if you get through the drive-through.
That's true. The Lafayette Square is a great location, in my opinion. It's near all the other restaurants like Shogun and Applebee's too. So get some food, get some books, whatever you want. So how will this browsing collection work with the bestsellers? How will the schedule or the rotation be?
It's going to be like the browsing collection at the main branch. It's their 14-day checkouts, and they're the best sellers. They're the things that everybody wants to read, and you can take them for 2 weeks, bring them back, and they'll rotate very easily on that cycle. So
The idea is to always have something that someone wants so they can walk in, because there's not going to be a very large collection, but to always have something that the readers want.
Okay, that's good. Quality over quantity too.
exactly.
So how else is the Washington County Public Library preparing for the future? This new branch is a great step, but also in all the other existing branches, what are some of the steps that the Washington County Public Library has been taking to make sure that you stay current?
For one thing, we went fine free. A lot of the libraries in the state, like Columbus Metro, have started doing that, and that's something that the board put a lot of thought into and made that decision because we want people to use the library, and we didn't want a $10 fine prevent people from coming into the library. I mean, there'll still be fees for people that don't bring back the materials. I mean, you still have to pay for that stuff. But I'm very happy that they made that decision because you don't want to hear about a $11 fine keeping the kid from checking out a book. So it's very important. And then technology. I mean, we're keeping up with technology. We're replacing computers as they need replaced. We're getting we'll talk about the Bookmobile app. We're keeping up with the newest trends and trying to keep up with all the stuff that's coming down the pipeline.
For sure. I remember I'm a college student, obviously. I went home to my local library. I hadn't been there in quite a few months, obviously. Tried to check out a book, had a massive late fee. So that'll be a great thing to sort of cut out of people's worries and concerns. So what are some of the programs and features currently offered at the libraries? What are your favorites?
I think the children's programs are of extreme importance, getting children used to going to the library, getting them used to having books, getting them used to the technology that's available so that they'll have a comfortable place to go and a convenient place to go to get the things that they really enjoy.
I really like the programs we're doing with the museum. I like the I love the stuff that we're doing with them. They're really good. If you haven't had a chance to go to one of them, you should. I mean, they're really good.
Which museums in particular are you partnering with?
Campus Martius down on the river, so it's really good programming.
Awesome. So is that like speeches?
Reenactment.
Authors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, authors who have done kind of historical books, and there they are with their books, and it's a really exciting lunchtime. They're usually brown bag, and you just sit and learn so much.
And we've had really good turnouts to them, so it's been really good.
That's great.
All the branches are doing good programs, but you just have to go online and see what they're doing. We have a couple of really good children's programs coming up this year. Besides just summer reading, there's going to be a penguin thing where we're bringing penguins so the kids can come see them.
Penguins?
And then we're doing a Sasquatch exhibit.
I want to go see the penguins.
Someone's coming in to talk about Bigfoot at the Barlow branch. So there's stuff all over the county. You just have to go online and look to see what's going on in your local library.
That's incredible. They do have a really comprehensive online calendar, so check that out. It's www.wcplib.com. There's .info. Okay, I thought I had that memorized.
Good job.
So one concern that some people do have regarding the library is how do you keep people interested beyond childhood? Because I feel like a lot of people who you think about who use local libraries are either children, their parents, and then retirees too. How do you keep that young adult audience engaged?
By far the hardest age group to keep it involved. And honestly, I think it's the technology. It's your e-books. It's the stuff that it's easily accessible. E-books are really becoming popular. And I think that generation appreciates those more. And this programs geared towards them, I think, is going to be really important in the future. And getting when they're young. If you get a kid when they're young and interested in coming to the library, they'll continue.
Yes.
So that's
And the
important.
young adult collections, the books that are specifically YA for young adults.
That's a huge genre.
And they're good.
Yeah.
I've read a couple of them.
Yeah, they are good. They're very good.
So if I were to, for instance, want to access an ebook, I am a member of the Washington County Public Library. I have a little library card. How would I go about getting an ebook on, say, this iPad that I have right here?
You could go to Bookmine, or you could go to our website and go into the catalog, browse, go to Overdrive, browse the collection, find the book you want. We also have other databases that we pay for that you can also try to find the book if you can't find it through Overdrive. And then you just download it to your computer when it becomes available, if it's not immediately available. We do have a collection of books that are always available, but you just download it and you just download it to your computer, and then it actually just goes away on its own, which is really cool. When it's time for you to check back in, it just goes away.
Oh, don't even have to worry about returning it. There you go. So we mentioned the Bookmine app briefly. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how the app in particular works with the library?
I really cannot make it more simple for people to check out books. You download this free app, you open up the app, you find the book you're looking for, you order it. When it comes in, we'll notify you however you choose us to notify you. You can even download the free card app where you put your library card on your phone. You can drive up to the drive-thru now, give us your phone, we'll scan it, we'll get your hold for you, and you can just drive away. I mean, it's that simple.
Wow.
You cannot make it any more simple.
And with the new drive-through branch, it should be even more accessible now.
And when you want to return it, the book drop is right through the drive-thru, so everything's right there. You don't even have to get out of your car to pick up your holds now. So
it's incredible. So that app again is called Book Mine, just like it sounds, book and then MYNE. So plug that into the App Store if you're interested.
And I myself had an experience with the Stow card, which they'll put your library card on your phone for you.
Okay.
that's awesome.
It is awesome because I was there and I didn't have my library card with me, and she was following the rules and said, "You don't have your card." And I said, "But I know my number, and I'm a trustee." And
No way.
yeah, look. And she said, "Here, let me help you." And I gave her my phone, and she was able to scan my library card onto my phone.
So there's that.
That's
I'll
really
always
cool.
have it with me.
So you said that's called Stow Card.
STOCARD, and it's a free app.
That's an app
And
as
there's
well.
a couple of them too, so there's a
Okay.
couple of them you can use.
But that was the one that this very helpful library person.
Right. You don't go anywhere without your phone, but those paper cards might be a little bit harder to keep track of. So
Didn't have it
there you
with
go.
me.
And I do also like when I went to get my library card, you do have the little keychain cards as well.
Absolutely.
So I mean,
Got it.
if you're driving your car to get there, you're not going to forget it. So you have so many options. So one of the coolest features of the library, in my opinion, is the Bookmobile.
Yep.
We were actually just talking about before we went on air how the Bookmobile is going to be visiting downtown Marietta tomorrow, April 7th, for our first Friday event, weather permitting.
No snow, no snow.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the Bookmobile and the different places that it visits?
It visits schools. The idea is to get out in the community that have a hard time getting to the library. It basically is a library on wheels. It's been a lot more popular than I thought and taken off a lot quicker than I thought it would. It's actually been very interesting. One of the reasons for the new location is that's where it's going to be parked and that's where we're going to stock it and that's where it's going to stay. But it's been very popular so far.
For sure. So that's also a rotating collection, sort of like the new Lafayette branch will be, correct? Do you stop and refill it at the different library branches, or how does that work?
It will be refilled at the new Lafayette Center. The books, when people order them, will go there and they'll be put on the Bookmobile for people and at the locations that it goes. And that is online too, and on Facebook and other
Yes.
resources to see where it's going to be that day.
Absolutely. I encourage you all to follow the Washington County Public Library on Facebook, Instagram, and check out their website as well. So look for the Bookmobile around town. It sounds to me like the Lafayette branch and the Bookmobile's new home is going to be so exciting, and I cannot wait to see it and visit it in the future. I can't wait to just see how you guys will continue to grow. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us today for this WCMO special feature made possible by collaboration with 5th Street Consulting. Please make sure to tune right back in Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30 and 6:30 for our regularly scheduled news program. From all of us here at WCMO-TV, I'm Lucy Wells.